Hello, Sharks. For Read Across America Week, today's theme is Dress Like a Famous Athlete, read a story about a famous athlete. So this is Queen of the Diamond, the Lizzie Murphy story. And she is probably an athlete that you haven't heard of before, but she made a big impact for women. So here we go, Queen of the Diamond. By Emily Arnold McCulley. In 1900, baseball was America's national pastime. No other form of entertainment came close. Every boy owned a ball, a glove, and a dream. In Warren, Rhode Island, there were several amateur teams, and Lizzie Murphy followed all of them. Her father had played on one as a young man. Her brother Henry was a shortstop on one of the best boys' teams. To sharpen his game, he played catch with Lizzie. Even at 6 years old, Lizzie threw straight to Henry's glove. Thunk, thunk, thunk. They did this for hours until the sun went down and the fireflies winked. "You're a natural, Lizzie," her father said. "I want to be a first baseman like you were," Lizzie told him. "She's good enough," Henry said. "Don't encourage her," said her mother. "It's not a game for girls." "But she loves it," her father said. "She can throw and catch as well as any boy." He gave Lizzie his old ball and glove to keep. She carried them everywhere. Lizzie went to all of Henry's games. She watched the plays and could see that a fielder had to throw fast and true to the baseman for an out. She was dying to be on the field. When she was 8, she asked Eddie, the captain, to let her try out for the team. He shook his head no. "Please," Lizzie begged. "You're a girl, Lizzie." "She's good," Henry said. "She can help us win." The boys laughed. Lizzie saw they wouldn't budge. "Then can I carry your bats?" she asked. "A girl bat boy?" The team huddled for a minute. "Okay, sure," Eddie said, sighing. It was a start. She was part of the team. A few weeks later, they went to nearby Cranston to play another team. "Who has the ball?" Eddie asked when they got there. Everyone looked sheepish. No one on either team had brought one. "What do we do? It's time to start." "I've got a ball," Lizzie piped up. "Good," Eddie said. "Let's have it." Lizzie held on to it. "I want to play first base," she said. There was dead silence. "Let her play," Henry said. Eddie rolled his eyes and waved Lizzie to first base. She couldn't help grinning. The Cranston team just started hooting and calling out insults. "Go back to your knitting. Where's your dolly?" Lizzie punched her glove. She had a job to do. She looked over at Henry to see if he was ready. Henry nodded. The third baseman nodded. Next, she checked the pitcher Mick. He was watching the catcher for a signal. Then he glanced at Lizzie. She raised an eyebrow. She punched her glove. "Okay, let's go, let's go. You can do it," she muttered to herself. The first batter stepped up to the plate. Mick threw the pitch. A strike. He wound up and threw again. Crack! It was a grounder to Henry. He scooped up the ball and fired to Lizzie the way they'd practiced for years. She caught it. The runner was out. At bat, Lizzie hit 2 doubles, a triple, and then a single. Once, she struck out, but that happened in the 9th inning, and her team was already ahead 10-0. Lizzie tingled with happiness. "Lizzie, you can play with us anytime you want," said Eddie. The other players called out, "3 cheers for Lizzie!" Henry pretended to soccer. When Lizzie turned 12, she went to work in a textile mill with the rest of the Murphys. Standing at a loom all day, she had plenty of time to daydream. Memories of base hits, double plays, and the thrill of fast teamwork. On her days off, during the cold months, she practiced the violin, played on ice hockey teams, and won foot races. Lizzie was an all-around athlete with a lot of talent. In the warm months, she won quite a few swimming races, too, but she always ended up on a baseball diamond. By the time she was 15, she was a regular on 2 amateur teams, the Silk Hats and the Warren Club Baseball. She played any position that was open because she was equally good at all of them. 3 years later, her mother sat down for a serious talk. "You're a grown-up lady now, Lizzie." Lizzie figured she knew it was coming. "It's time to give up baseball." "But it's what I do best." "A woman can't support herself on a ball field. It's hard enough for a man." Maybe her mother was right, she thought. Baseball wasn't for girls. The next day, Lizzie watched a game instead of playing one. It was so strange to sit in the stands. In the 4th inning, a batter hit a weak ball to the third baseman, who dropped it. Lizzie leaped to her feet and nearly ran out onto the field. She loved baseball. She was better than most of the men. How could she give it up? Warren also had a semi-pro team, and the players were paid. Maybe she could make a living at baseball. She had to try. The manager had seen her play. "Sure, we'll start you at first base," he said. His eyes twinkled. He was thinking that people would come in droves to see a girl on the field. The newspaper printed the story. Lizzie Murphy had signed with the team. "This is just the beginning," Lizzie told her parents. "I'll be traveling all over the world. It will be an education." "How will you ever get married?" her mother said. "Don't care. I want to play baseball." The stands were already overflowing with excited fans when Lizzie arrived for her first game. "Wow," Lizzie said. "What's going on?" "They're here to see you," said the manager. Lizzie trotted to first base, telling herself to calm down. "Let's go. You're playing your favorite position. Way to go." She punched her glove and bounced on her toes. Then the announcer yelled, "Play ball!" The first batter popped up to the shortstop. The second hit a grounder to the second baseman, who pegged it to Lizzie, who tagged the batter out. And the third struck out. Inning over. When Lizzie was up, she hit a triple. Her team won 10-2. Lizzie was mobbed. When the manager handed out pay envelopes to the players, he walked right past Lizzie. Lizzie kept quiet, but she made a plan. At practice next week, she gave it her all. On Saturday, they were to play a game in Newport. Lizzie waited until everyone else had boarded the bus. Then she refused to get on. "Lizzie, let's go," barked the manager. "We'll be late." You owe me my cut from last week's game," Lizzie said. "The men got $5 and a share of what the fans dropped in the can you passed around the bleachers." "Look here, Lizzie," the manager said. "You'll quit to get married someday. These fellows have a living to earn." "I do too," Lizzie protested. "This is my job." "People are coming just to watch you," the manager sputtered. "That's right," Lizzie said. "Pay me the same as the men." Players called from the bus. "Hey, she earned it. Fair and square. Give Lizzie her share." "Hand it over." "Good for you, Lizzie." The manager handed her $5 plus her share of what they collected from the fans. Lizzie boarded the bus. "Hip hip hooray for Lizzie Murphy," the team cried. A few days later, Lizzie's mother gave her a package. It was her baseball uniform, washed and neatly folded. Across the chest and the back, her mother had stitched the words, "Lizzie Murphy." "You're a pro now," said her mother. "Your fans will want to see your name." For the next 17 years, Lizzie Murphy played professional baseball, and she always made sure she was paid as much as the men. Fans called her the Queen of Baseball. And then here's a picture of the real life Lizzie Murphy. Have a great day, Sharks.